A warm welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel, guys. Great to see you. So today I am going to attempt to fix some lacquer peel on the Red Peril, the Porsche 911. So this is aftermarket paint. You can see around here we have lacquer peel, and that's going to get worse and worse, and it's just going to shed all this loose lacquer. Like, it's just going to spread. So normally when lacquer fails, you know, anywhere on this car, then it's off to a paint shop and get it fixed. Why am I attempting to fix this? Because I have some clear coat. My recommendation to you is that if you get this, you know, you go and take it to a professional and get it repaired properly. The thing is, if I mess it up, I mean, it's not going to look any worse than that anyway. So I can have a go, basically. Now what the plan is to wet sand this back so that you can see the dull paint without clear coat on it. What we've got to do is try and wet sand this away so that we've got like a flat area here. And when you rub your hand over it with wet water, it sort of hides everything. And when it's like that, you know that if you put the lacquer on it, it'll be good. The problem is the edge. You normally want to spray clear coat all over the surface that you're doing it on, because what's going to happen is wherever I end the lacquer, you know, say I'm spraying over here and all this lacquer's coming out, I can mask this section off. Wherever it ends is going to be a pretty hard edge, even if I have no tape there, and I'm just going to try and sort of feather it out around here a little bit. If you then let that cure off and wet sand it, you'll see where the lacquer is, and it's hard to do that. So the edges are never going to be great. So I've got to just try and sort of end the clear coat and just sort of blend it in and buff it up. Sounds good on paper. Chances are this is going to go wrong. So let's go on to step one. When wet sanding off this dead stuff, I would probably normally use like, well, so normally I never really do this. So I'm using whatever grit I've got. I'm going to use P1000 of it, which is going to be hard work. But that's what I've got. You might want to go a bit lower, P600 or something, or even lower, and then finish it down. The more aggressive you go, you've got to be careful sanding on this original paint, because that's your finish. Whenever you're preparing it for paint, the surface, if it's all flat and smooth and you know, looks good, feels good, then usually it takes the paint paint well. If I can still see this edge after I've sanded it all out, then I'll see it when the lacquer goes on, but I figure it's going to be better. I will, of course, once I've done all the sanding, I'll tape and bag up so that I'm not going to cover the car in overspray. So yeah, P1000 on a sanding block first, and I'll put a little bit of soap in there as well. So let's get that done. Okay, back. So the problem is sanding. To get the clear coat off, you have to sand into the paint, and yeah, so it's kind of discoloured it, and you're just starting to see primer coming through underneath. It's nice and smooth. Take the clear coat well, but if I clear coat over that, it's just going to look like you're going to see all that, so it won't really look much better. This side was a little bit better. Well, a lot better actually, but you could probably clear that, but you'll see all that, which is probably just the reality of it. So I'm thinking I do have some Guards Red paint because I sprayed that up, so I know it's a decent enough colour match. So what I'm probably going to do now is dry this off, degrease it. It just needs to be perfectly flat. A little bit more sanding there needed. Just need to get that flat, and then I'll just probably put a bit of colour over the top of it, which is going to be not good. It's going to be, well, it's going to be a dog's dinner. Keep going, keep going. Okay, this is going well. So we're going to go on with a little bit of paint just on there, tiny bit of paint. It's going to go horribly wrong. And we're going to go on with a little bit of paint here, getting overspray all over the car. A little bit of paint on there. Not all of this, we're not going to paint all that. Once we've put the lacquer on, all that wet sanding should look great. So we're going to put a bit of paint on over there, let that paint dry off completely. I've just cleanser fluid wiped it, it's like a panel wipe, and just hit it with some hot air to get rid of the panel wipe. Now I'm going to get overspray everywhere. I'm just going to shake this for a few minutes, so I'll come back. Okay, I'm now about to go in. This is going to go tits up. Okay. Getting too much overspray over there. I'll just put it on very gently. If I hurl it out with this button down, it's just going to put a thick layer. It'll be all bogeyed and runny. It's not too bad, actually. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. It's going to be all right. It's going to be okay. Well, it's got to dry, it will flatten out. I just need to get rid of that patchiness, so I need to put a little bit more on. I should really wait for it to dry and then coat it up a bit. It's going to be okay. In fact, it doesn't need to be actually, no, you can still see it, can't you? It needs a little bit more paint. Really, I should let that dry off and do another coat, because if I keep putting paint on it, it will run eventually. Get away with a bit more. That'll do, that'll do. It doesn't have to be perfect, because there's going to be clear going on top of that. You can still see that edge of where I wet sanded. Yeah, you can, but only with certain light, so that's okay. It's better than I thought. It's a bit dry on the edge, but we're going to clear that. Right, so if we go this way, we're not going to paint the entire car with overspray. Bodger, what a bodger. This is a bodge. You get the idea. You hear me say that a lot, don't you? Could be overspray everywhere. That will do. It still needs a bit more, but I'm putting overspray everywhere. I should really... Well, it won't be that much overspray. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. A little bit more paint. Don't panic. That's it. It's about the only thing I do know is if I push that button down and put it on heavy, it's game over. So I'm just going to let that dry off now. What's going on up there? Is that a bit more clear coat failure up there? Put a bit of paint there. Okay, doesn't need to be perfect. Yeah, that went better than I thought actually, guys. There we go. So we just misted a bit of paint on. I want that to dry fully. It's going to be, the problem is, well, actually when it dries, hopefully a lot of time that texture will disappear. As long as it looks half smooth when we dry, when that paint is dry, then the clear coat can go on. Yeah, if you put it on wet, you're in trouble. Right, so I'm going to come back. That's all right, actually. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Everything's okay. Don't panic. Okay, dudes. So the paint is on and the paint is now kind of dried. So I'm going to clear over the top. You can still see that little footprint underneath. It's more texture really than colour, just from the edges of where it's wet sanded. But once, well, let's just get the clear coat on. It's going okay. Clear coat's over here with a lacquer. I had all this paint, so this is really the reason I'm doing this, is because it's not costing me any money. Because I had to mix up the paint to, if you watch the channel, to paint 3 of those when I did the wiper blade delete. All this primer clear coat and paint, all 3 tins cost 21 quid delivered on eBay. And the colour match is good. So you can't really grumble. I'm just going to heat this can up a little bit. You can see it's good strength in the right arm. Good endurance as well. I can go all day. I'm just warming up. Get some heat into it. Be careful blowing dust everywhere. I want to get a bit more heat in here. I don't know that's why. Get the solvent flashing out a bit. Now I'm going to try and put this on a little bit thicker. What's it say on the destructions? Shake aerosol, applying at least 2 minutes, kind of. Cross coats, 250 mils, too far away. Well, say that. Yeah, so really generally with this, you want to put it on a bit thicker. Then you risk the overspray. But I don't want to sort of dust this on. But anyway, we'll see. We'll dust it on. Away from the car, you know. Just want to feather that bottom edge in a bit. It's going to be overspray on this panel. If I just keep on top of that. I'll tell you what, this clear coat hardens off well, doesn't give me any trouble. That hardens off well. That repair is going to be better than I thought it was. Just got to make sure it hardens off. I'll give it like a week before I mess around with it. I prefer not doing this with a camera in my hand, but let's just do it. There was a bit of peeling clear coat right there on the edge, look, that I didn't see. So I didn't kind of wet sand that off, so that's a bit of a fail, but never mind. Right, let's get a nice thick coat of this on. Just feather it into the edge. Just want a nice wet, thick coat of that. I'll tell you what, I am more than pleased with how that is gone, even though when it dries, so you could build up like quite a few coats, because when it's going to be drier on the edges than you think, I think. But I'm not looking for like the perfect mirror finish, I'm just looking for some gloss. I'm going to build it up till it starts running, then I'll be in trouble. That's probably enough clear coat, I would imagine. Yeah, I'm more than happy with that. Jesus Christ. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not going to be perfect, but I thought, well, you probably, when it's dried, yeah, you probably will be able to see the little patchy bits that I wet sanded through where there's probably not enough baseline paint. And what we got there, we got some rubbish in the paint there. Don't know what that is. That I tell you what that is. I should have just panel wiped that's little dust specks that have fallen on it. It's a bit, that's a bit of a problem. Yeah, I should have just, that's probably from having the hairdryer on. Let's just put a bit of clear over and see if I can fill those. No, you've got some dust specks. That's okay. You're going to see those in certain lights, but that's good. Right. All good. Now go away and leave it. Don't think I've got any dust specks on this side, which is a bit interesting. Oh yeah, I did, yeah. So that's the mistake I made. Yeah, so that's just like some dust specks. Could wet sand, if I put a bit more clear on, I could wet sand those flat a little bit and polish that up, which I probably plan to do. So let's just put a bit of clear on. So there's a couple of dust specks there. It's sloppy, because I could have avoided those, but dust is a big problem, isn't it? It's a bit dusty in this garage. It's probably actually from probably having that cloth near it. Right. Yes, there's a few little dots of crap, but yeah, that's okay. It's much better than it was. Like before, when you got the lacquer peeling off, it just looks like a dog's diller. Now, once that's done and that's dry, yes, anyone who's got an eye for paint will know that that's been bodged by an absolute, bodger. But it just takes your eye off it, and ultimately, yeah, when I get it resprayed later on, that'll all be done properly. So let's just let that dry and we'll see. Unfortunately, we'll see some little bits of dots in the paint and all that's probably the #1 risk. I should have thought a bit more about that, but never mind. Yeah, that's gone well. Okay guys, we're back. First time filming on my new Pixel Pro 10. Should be good. This has gone better than I thought it was going to. It's done. Now, do not think this is a masterpiece. Look at the texture. Now, you could leave this to cure for like a week and then wet sand, polish it, do what you like. I'm going to just probably leave this. So there is texture in it. There's little bits of dirt and there's like that fine surface texture. So you could put it on a bit wetter and flatten it a bit more. But essentially, there's a little difference in the colour match as well. Can you see? That's like a bit more orangey red and that's a bit darker. It's not massive, it's not a problem. But essentially, when you think that was all kind of diddled and done, I'm really happy with that actually, because it's just a take your eye off it repair for free. You know, now you wouldn't, unless you went looking for it, you wouldn't necessarily know. So it actually went better than I thought, but I've got some overspray to deal with. Should taped up a bit, masked up a bit better. I'm gonna have to, you see there's overspray there, I'm gonna have to just compound that, that'll get rid of it. It's quite fine. This side as well, again, you can see the colour match is slightly off. You can see all this texture in there. and all that sort of stuff. But essentially, if you don't have the right light, well, you can really see that colour difference, can't you, in the different light. But essentially, if you think all the paint was peeling off there before, it's not too bad. I think that's pretty much as good as I could ever get. If you did a bit more prep, someone who knows what they're doing could do better, maybe put a bit more clear coat on there, whatever. But no, it's gone as well as I thought it would go. It's gone better than I thought it would go. I'm only doing this, I want to re-emphasise, because it's free and it's just a little improvement. If you get this out in the light, it will look a lot worse. But overall, yeah, really impressed with that actually, guys. Because, yeah, it's just saved me to take this off or take this to a body shop, because it's awkward to prep and you've got to dismantle it all and buzz it all back and like epoxy primer it and all that sort of stuff. And that's going to be about £400 or £500 to have that painted, because it's all this panel down here as well. It's a horrible panel to paint. It's complicated. So it's just a temporary quick way of fixing some money. But yeah, it went better than I thought. So are there any tips? Tips is, don't follow the tips in this video, because I am not great with all of this stuff. You know, it's an art form. What I did do wrong though is the dust. Yeah, just some dust specks in it. I could have minimised that. I could have put more clear coat on as well and built it up a little bit more. Could have done a lot of things better. Could have taped it up better as well. But yeah, there we go. So the Red Peril now doesn't have horrible lacquer peel over it. And a P1000 was actually probably ideal as well for flattening out that clear coat. I wouldn't have needed to go more aggressive, a higher grit, you know what I mean? But it does, you are going to flatten off your existing paint. There wasn't a lot of existing paint, so that was a problem. I thought I might be able to do it carefully, but no. So you'll probably always need colour as well as clear coat. But yeah, she's all right. Okay, over and out.
Holding on to what I knew, but the moment's gone. Where was I when